I see a lot of vintage Christmas ornaments. Oh, whoa. Welcome to episode 45. In this episode, we're going to do another Solds video. I thought this would be a good opportunity following up the weekend Solds video because I talked to you in that video about how we'd had a little bit of a slower weekend than normal. We were like at around 13 items sold. We're normally in that 17 to 23 range. But I was talking about how everything ebbs and flows and not to get too caught up in a small sample size like a weekend, a week, or even a month, honestly, because it ends up balancing itself out most times. We had a slower weekend, but then boom, for some reason, a random Tuesday, we caught fire. We sold 9 items for a pretty good chunk of money, especially for a weekend, random Tuesday in February. But anyway, let's get into it and show you what we sold. Like I said, this is always good to keep your head and not to get too caught up in the small sample sizes, you know? But anyway, let's get into it. Okay, first off, we sold this vintage art pottery glazed fish serving platter. Lori bought this from us for $17.80. It is a cool little fish serving platter here. No chips, no cracks. A little bit of crazing on the bottom, but pretty good shape. She made an offer. We accepted it. Next, we sold this vintage 1961 McCoy Jardinier dogwood design. Let me see here. The McCoy USA you can see on the bottom. This was another McCoy piece that came out of the house clean out that we did. If you watched any of our older videos, you would see we did a house clean out, at this point, 1.5 years or so ago. But we're still going through stuff and selling the stuff we got there. Our storage unit still has stuff in it. This was an amazing jardinier that was buried in a chest that was just in our storage unit for, like I said, about 1.5 years. I just did the unboxing video on that a few weeks ago. It had some other jardiniers in it, some other old Nelson McCoy plant stands. But this was also in there, and just goes to show, man, sometimes we get buried and stuff. We have so much stuff. That's why, like, lately I've just been taking offers. If it's even a little bit reasonable, I take the offer because we got so much stuff. We just didn't move stuff out the door. Like I said, I got a garage full, a storage unit full of all stuff that we haven't even went through yet. So, but anyway, we got an offer on this one from Antoinette for $45, and I accepted it. Moving on. And this goes back to another thing we were talking about in the weekend solds video about brass. Here's another brass animal that we sold. It's a brass goldfish, about 4 inches, and a 2-handled brass mug. This was bought by the same person, Jessa Lynn. She bought each of these. They sold for $17 a piece. Like I said, these are always good to get. They're easy to ship. People buy them. They're not huge money makers, but you get this stuff for, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we paid 50 cents for this goldfish. 50 cents into 17 bucks. I'll take that all day, every day. I'm not sure. I don't exactly remember where we got the 2-handled brass mug, but there again, I almost guarantee we didn't pay $1 or $2 for it probably. Next, now this is a good one. This took some work. Yesterday, let me move some of this stuff off the table because this is a large item here. But this took some work. I was going back and forth with the guy yesterday all morning because we were trying to work out the shipping cost because of the size and weight of this item. But it is a vintage 1950s Mobo Bronco press steel ride-on pedal horse. And let me lift it up here so you can see it. Boom. I don't know if I put it on the table, is it all in the frame? I don't know, but anyway, I'll drop it down just in case. You can see that it is a cool little pedal horse from the 50s, but I also learned something about these things. Flip it over and take a look at the wheels. These wheels actually turn, and the original older versions did not turn. I learned that the more desirable version is the one where you can actually turn the wheels. So I was talking to a gentleman yesterday. We worked through some shipping issues. I had to add UPS ground because that's another tip for you there. When you're shipping bigger, heavier items, a lot of times your cheapest option is UPS ground. So keep that in mind. The post office is usually a lot more expensive for the bigger, heavier items. Terry made me an offer of $269. I had it originally listed for $324. I accepted it. That'll take a little work shipping that. I have to go get a big box. It's 30 inches by 30 inches. So, like I said, I'll have to get a box from somewhere for it, because I don't think I got a box around here that big. But anyway, not a problem. I can run over to Home Depot and get a box that fits it. The only problem with that is going to the UPS store. The UPS store here is a little bit of a pain because it's where you do all your Amazon returns. So every time you go there, there's a line out the door. But you just deal with it. It's only one item. I'll just have to wait in line for a little bit to get this one shipped out. But anyway, moving on. Next is these antique New England tabletop flaky cut crust pie tins. There are 3 of them. Let's see. Andrew made us an offer of $25 and we accepted it. Like I said, we are just taking offers at this point. As long as it's not completely unreasonable. We just have so much stuff. We're trying to just move through some of it. And if you watched the weekend solds video, I sold 2 copper pots. And I mentioned that I had 2 skillets, copper, brass, and aluminum skillets that came with it. Sold the 7-inch copper skillet to Adele for $40. Once again, she made an offer on it. I had it listed for $54. She made an offer of $40. I took it. Still got one left. This is a 7-inch. It has the stamp, says Made in France on it. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it does. Next, we sold these vintage Eureka Seals sticker booklets. You can hear my dog. He just came down the steps. He was taking a nap. Christmas Western Nursery Rhymes. We sold these to Ann for $16. She made an offer and we accepted it. Like I said, these are always good things to pick up. They're unique. People buy them and they're easy to ship. So $16 for those. And lastly, now this is something we don't generally sell, but sometimes like we mostly deal with vintage, retro, and antique stuff. That's just because that's what we like. But sometimes you get stuff and you're just like, you know what? Let me throw this up and see if I can sell it. But this is a iRobot Roomba 600 series replenishment kit, replacement parts, new in the box. I had it listed for $18. Somebody made an offer of $12. I accepted it because I'm like, this ain't even the kind of thing we normally sell. We'll make a little money on it, get it out the door, keep it moving. But anyway, I just wanted to take the time to show you, like, you know, sometimes you don't want to get too hung up on when things are a little slow or whatever. You know, like I said, it's like the meme where the guy has the stick and he's poking, do something. Well, you know, then it turns around and you have a random Tuesday in February we sell. I believe our total was, let me see, I added it up ahead of time this time to not have any dead air, even though I cut it out of the last one. But anyway, our total was $458.80 on a random Tuesday in February, which was more than we sold over the weekend. I believe we were in the 440s over the weekend because we were a fair amount of items below our average. But anyway, like I said, it's just a good idea not to get too hung up on small sample sizes, a weekend, a week, or even a month, you know. But there you go. There you have it. As always, visit our store at coastalreselltherapy.com. The link will be posted in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.